What's up everyone? I hope you've all been doing great. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica. If you're new here, I talk about all things fashion, sewing, and sustainability. So for today's video, I wanted to share with you guys where I get all of my supplies. So a little about my brand. I started it in June of 2020. It's called Vaed by Veronica Arroyo. Vaed stands for Veronica Arroyo Environmental Designs. And everything is made to order, pre-order, or custom ordered. So I try to be as sustainable and conscious about the items that I'm using, the impact that I'm making. I also try to be as size inclusive as possible. So I offer XL or extra small to a 5XL, and I don't throw away any of my fabric scraps, paper waste, and I just try to be as sustainable and conscious about what my brand is doing, the impact that I'm making, and where I get all of my supplies. So before I get into where I get my supplies, I just wanted to make it clear that sustainability is not black and white. It is a gray area. There is no one right way to do anything. It really is all about trying your best and doing what is accessible to you. So everything that all the brands that I'm sharing is what is accessible to me and is probably mostly accessible to you. So it is very difficult to source 100% like sustainable, ethical materials in today's society. And it really is just about who you're buying it from, because most likely where the item was made, like who knows, like we all don't know the history of the items and like where it was made and who made it. And honestly is really difficult, and we hope there would be more transparency in the future, but this is just where I get my supplies now and the companies that I will support, and I want to support them, and I align with their values as a brand or as a company. So let's just get into where I get my supplies. So I'm gonna start off with the one that is the most accessible to many people, and that's Etsy. I love Etsy. That has become my marketplace. I don't buy on Amazon anymore. I have straight away and I just shop on Etsy for basically everything, but I get a lot of my fabrics from there. And also like the majority of my notions. Notions are like your zippers, buttons, elastics, stuff like that. And I shop on Etsy the most. There's so many shops on there that offer so many different things. You can buy vintage fabrics, scrap fabrics, like the possibilities are endless on there, and it is the most accessible to so many people around the world. It's a great source if you want to shop from small businesses, which I think is the most sustainable thing that you can do. Something that I always do when I shop on Etsy is I will write a message to the shop and I ask if they can pack my supplies or whatever I'm buying with the least amount of plastic as possible. I know it's not realistic to ask for zero plastic because a lot of the times their packaging is plastic, or something that I'm buying already is wrapped in plastic. So it's just not realistic to ask for 100% plastic free. So I just write in the note, like, can I please receive like the least amount of plastic packaging as possible? And usually they always deliver. Like they always just throw everything in a box and they don't add any extra things, or they don't use the plastic packaging. So it's just an easy way to try and reduce your plastic consumption, and you're making it aware to a shop that, you know, maybe eventually we should start switching over to plastic free shopping. So those little things count. I also try to buy from one shop to try and receive everything in one package. So if I am buying like a zipper, I will see what else the shop offers. Maybe they'll have buttons that I need, or they have elastic. So I try to buy everything from one shop and I receive it in just one packaging, and I don't get multiple packages. Also, for most shops, like if you buy within a certain amount, like you get like free shipping. So it's also like, you know, you get free shipping. And Etsy is carbon neutral. It has carbon neutral shipping. So we love to hear that. Another one is Fab Scrap. Fab Scrap is a textile recycling center that is actually located in Brooklyn, New York, and you can actually go to the facility and buy fabric by the pound, and you can also volunteer, you can donate your scraps, and it is a really great system. I love Fab Scrap. I've actually never been to their facility in Brooklyn, and I haven't bought anything on their website, but I have always wanted to. They have a website and they offer so many different things. They also offer notions as well. Most of the places that I'm going to mention offer notions, and they're truly transparent with their whole process. And honestly, it's just a really great system, and I hope to buy from them soon. I honestly just always get from like my same guy, which I'll talk about, so I just have never bought anything from them, but I would definitely support them. Another one just like that is Queen of Raw. She sells, it's an online website, and they sell fabrics, dead stock fabrics, like of all different kinds, and they're also completely transparent, so it is a great other source to buy dead stock fabrics. If you don't know what dead stock means, it's basically like extra rolls of fabric that designers or manufacturers printed, and they give them to fabric stores, or the designers that created the fabrics, like brands will sell them to fabric stores to sell to the public, and it's usually a very limited quantity, so it'll just be like one roll of like 20 yards, and you can't get like that fabric again. So it's like a limited amount of fabric, and there's a big argument that dead stock fabrics are not sustainable or as ethical as we think, but honestly, like I said, sustainability is not black and white. There's really so much to it, and if you guys ever want me to get into that, like really talk about what I think is sustainable and ethical within dead stock fabrics, and also like vegan leather or leather, silk and all that, then I definitely will. Comment down below if you want me to talk more about that. Another shop online is one that I've actually bought from. It's called a Thrifty Notion. They are a small fabric store, and they actually have like an in-store location that I can't remember where it is. I think it's like Kentucky or something like that. And they offer a bunch of fabrics, a bunch of notions. They sell fabric scraps as well. They have an Instagram, and they are always updating like the new fabrics that they get. They offer dead stock fabrics and everything, so that is another great resource. Their prices are very affordable, and I have actually bought like 3 fabrics from them. And they also try to be like very sustainable with their packaging. They reuse a lot of their packaging. Actually, whenever I received my box, there's like a sticker on top, and it says, "Please excuse our packaging. We're trying to reuse as much as possible." I think it was it's something like that, along the lines of that, because they were using like an Amazon box to ship it out to me. So I feel like that really counts, and just like any little step that you can take to be more sustainable, in my opinion, is really effective. Where I buy my most fabrics is actually from a local fabric store in Miami. I have befriended the owner of the store, and I just buy all of my fabrics from him, and he actually ships them out to me in Puerto Rico. I've been a loyal customer of his for 3 years, and his fabric store is family owned. It has been since the day it opened in like the 50s, and his parents still own it, and now he's become like the co-owner, and he's basically just become like my supplier. I always text him every time I need anything. He always replies to me. I will literally text him at midnight. Like, he has become like my best friend, and we actually have the same birthday, which I think is really weird, and we have just built a really strong friendship. So I get the majority of my fabrics from him, but he doesn't have like an online store or anything yet. But that is where I buy the majority of my fabrics, but I know that's not accessible to everyone unless you go to Miami. In my opinion, the most sustainable thing you can do is buy from local fabric stores, small fabric stores. If you have a little fabric store, family owned one like by you, definitely go and support them. Even if you're buying like synthetic fabrics or anything like that, like supporting your local shops is much more sustainable than like very big mass producing stores, which I know still is difficult. Like Joann's, like not everyone has small stores, like they just have a Joann's near them, and that was my case whenever I lived in Jacksonville, Florida. All I had was a Joann's, and that was the only place that I shopped. So I completely understand like whatever is accessible to you, but that's why I also wanted to offer these online stores that are a little bit more sustainably conscious with their process and what they are supplying. So that is where I get the majority of my fabrics, and hopefully soon you guys will be able to shop online from him. For these last two, I have actually bought from them, but these are more like not offering like dead stock fabrics, already made fabrics. These are like more they're made to order. So the first one is Vivify Textiles. I've actually collaborated with them before, and I made this dress. I made a whole video using their fabric on my YouTube. Vivify offers so many different textiles. They offer recycled polyester, organic fibers, natural fibers. Like they have many different options, and everything I believe is made to order. Like, so once you order the fabric, like they will print it or make it, so they don't have all of the fabrics already made, and they're completely like sustainable and transparent with their process. They will, if you go onto their website, they will show you like where everything is made, that they are very conscious about the water that they use and the dyes that they use. So they are very, very sustainable, and I completely support like what they're doing. So that is more if you want to buy maybe like a large quantities of fabric, like you are a brand and you want to have like maybe like a 20 to 30 yard maximum or more fabric rolls. And you can also buy very small quantities too. Like you can buy whatever you want, but I feel like if you're someone who, you know, dead stock fabrics isn't for you because it's such a limited amount and you want to create more, then Vivify Textiles is a really great source. They don't really have like print fabrics, everything is kind of solids. And on the topic of printing design onto your fabric, next is Spoonflower. So I've actually gotten a print on a fabric made on Spoonflower before for my graduation for college, like my final collection. I printed this design and I got it printed out on like a cotton twill, polyester or recycled polyester or something, like multiple different fabrics, and I made it for my final collection. So Spoonflower is a made to order company, so they offer a bunch of different prints, graphic prints, and you can also make your own and upload it and get that printed onto your fabric, which is what I did. And they will do everything like to order. So like once you order like your fabric, that's when they will print it onto the fabric. They don't just print out a bunch of fabrics all the time and then have them, you know, chilling and like wasting water or anything. Everything is made to order, and they are completely like conscious and sustainable with their process. Like they try and try not to waste like as much water. They reuse the water actually, and also they are non-toxic. They also have like a whole blog and like they share like different sustainable things that you can do with their fabrics, like how to use fabric scraps, and like they just share a lot of resources. So they try to be as sustainable as possible, and it's really great. I love supporting them. I actually don't like get the fabric printed, or like I don't really do that process much because I feel like there's so many textiles already out there that I would rather use like dead stock, like fabrics that are already made and just sitting like in a fabric store than like creating more fabrics and like using more water and like that whole process. That's personally like why I don't do that currently. But if I ever wanted to make another print and like get it made onto a fabric, then I definitely would use Spoonflower. So now that we got all of the fabric and the notions out of the way, I wanted to share where I get my clothing labels. So I actually get mine from Wonderlabel. They're a UK based brand, and they're definitely not the most sustainable website either, but they offer a clothing label that you can get made from recycled fibers. So they just have black and white for like the recycled fiber options. So I get like just like a regular black and white clothing label with my brand on it, like my logo, and that is where I get my clothing labels. It was the one that was more in like my budget, because the other ones that I had found like that were completely sustainable companies were more expensive, and at the time when I was buying them, like I really had such a small budget for starting my brand that like I just thought this was like the second best option, which I honestly still think is, because you are creating a demand for their recycled fibers to still keep being in use. You know, like if a brand is offering like a recycled polyester, I feel like it's still important to buy from them like that product, so that you're showing them like that we want it, you know, that we want more of this product, like please try and keep using recycled whatever, so that eventually that they can create more and they start expanding in their recycled things that they offer, you know. So I think it's important like to use your money for good and to put it towards something that you value. But if you want to make the investment and you only want to support like sustainable brands, Weavable is also a really great one. They're like a completely sustainable like organic brand, and they offer like organically made labels, but they were just like a little bit like higher in price, so I didn't get them at the time. So, but for the future, I definitely would be buying from Weavable. So I get the majority of my shipping supplies from No Issue and Eco Enclosed. So No Issue is an on-demand shipping supplies brand. They offer like customizable branded packaging, which is so cute. Honestly, like the possibilities, like there's so many possibilities that you could do with that brand, and they offer small quantities, which is I think like the best part. It's literally designed for small businesses. So I got my tissue paper printed with them. I designed this print and I uploaded it, and I got it printed onto some tissue paper. All of their packaging, their tissue papers are made from recycled paper. They also offer organic tote bags. They offer stamps. They offer water-based tapes, which I use a water-based tape, but I actually got it from another place. All of their packaging is made from recycled paper, and also they offer compostable packaging as well, water-based tapes, stamps, organic tote bags. All of their inks are soy-based and water-based inks, and they're acid-free. Honestly, they're very, very sustainable and completely transparent with their whole process, and I think that's amazing. Like, they are, and like the fact that you can make your packaging look really cute too and it be sustainable is like top notch. Like it's 100. So I love using No Issue, and they're a really great company if you are a small business and you want some really cute packaging. I get my curated boxes from Eco Enclosed. Eco Enclosed is another great sustainable shipping supplies brand. They are based in Colorado. They're completely transparent with their whole process as well. You can get customized shipping boxes from them. You can do it on No Issue too, but I didn't know about No Issue before this. I actually saw Eco Enclosed first. So I get my curated shipping boxes from them. You can also get envelopes. You can also get shipping or tissue paper from them as well, and they use soy-based inks. You can customize your boxes as well to like have like a print on them. I got my water-based tape from them as well, and like hemp twine, which I use to like tie on my labels. For like my hang tags, I use them to tie on like my clothes. They're completely transparent. They are circular with their whole process, and they use recycled papers, recycled cardboard to make all of their packaging. So Eco Enclosed is another great shipping supplies brand that I completely recommend to you guys. And lastly, I get a lot of my supplies from Etsy as well. So I actually got my stamps custom made on Etsy. I just found a shop that will customize a stamp for me, and I got my logo printed, and also I got like my hang tag label printed on there, so that like I can just stamp my hang tags, and also like with my brand I can stamp my papers or whatever. I used to stamp my own tissue paper. Like I would buy white tissue paper and I would stamp it, but that would take so long. So I wanted to like invest in like a really cute tissue paper. And I also stamp all of my thank you cards. So I actually use recycled paper for my thank you cards. I got the paper from a shop on Etsy called White Dragon Paper, I believe. And they make paper from recycled paper. I used to do that process myself in the beginning. I like blended up paper and I made my own paper from recycled paper that I was holding on to from like my mail and all of that. And I was making my own paper for my thank you cards. But whenever I was doing it, I was living in a studio and it was like just a mess, and I couldn't let them like hang dry. Like it was just like I didn't have like an outdoors to do it, and it was kind of messy, and also I had way too many things and not enough space. But I am planning to do it for my next collection because I have so much paper that I've been holding on to from like pattern making and stuff that I want to make my own paper again, and now I actually have the space. I can do it outside, so I plan to make my own paper again, and I will stamp my logo at the top and then like handwrite all of my notes. And for my hang tags, I actually make my own hang tags. This was the video that really did it for me. I made a TikTok of me making my hang tags and it just went viral, and from there my brand just kept growing. So thank God I made my hang tags. But I actually save all of my cardboard boxes, like cereal boxes, snack boxes and stuff. I will save them and I will paint on the side that has like the picture or whatever. I will paint on it, and then I will cut them out and poke or punch a hole in them, and I will stamp my hang tag like with the logo in the front and then like the little info on the back. So it is a time-consuming process, but I've honestly found a quicker way to make them now than I did when I first made them. When I first made them, that was just so time-consuming, and now I found like a much quicker way to do it, and I use cow paint now, which is like a sustainable, non-toxic paint instead of using acrylic paint. And that way the hang tags are completely recyclable and compostable, instead of with the acrylic paint being on them, like then they can't be recycled because it has like, you know, acrylic paint on them. So I use the cow paint to make it sustainable. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it and you found this helpful, and now you have some new resources to go check out and support. I know it's difficult to be 100% sustainable, and it is not accessible to everyone to shop from these places. So it really is all about trying your best and just being conscious about what you're doing. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so that you can keep seeing videos from me. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.